Good morning. It's really early here in Colorado. In fact, if you look out the window, you can see the sky is just beginning to lighten up a little bit. I'm still in my pajamas, but I wanted to talk about the teachings of Inner Ramana, the circus and the meadow, the end of the message. There's a question at the end of the message about resistance. And when I was listening to Inner Ramana, I asked a question about resistance because I was experiencing at that time very, very strong resistance to the teachings of Inner Ramana. I was experiencing very, very strong, uncomfortable resistance to the idea of doing the mantra, and I think, if I remember correctly, especially to the idea of surrender. And yet, in spite of this very strong, uncomfortable resistance, in my heart, I still wanted to do it. So I asked for help, and let me just read that first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what resistance might look like. But this is the question I asked. What do I do with this strong resistance to the practices you are asking me to keep? And here's the answer that I received. Understand that all resistance comes from your willingness to listen to resistance before. It is an echo from the past that is being picked up and heard now. To listen to it again is like shouting into a cave again. The echo will only return. So this is kind of an interesting image that Inner Ramana is giving me, that if I listen to my resistance to surrender and my resistance to doing the mantra, and I say, oh, I just have too much resistance. I'm not doing this. I got way too much resistance, If I listen to that, that's like shouting into a cave, I hate this, I don't want to do this practice. And then what happens is the echo comes back and I hear it again. I hate this, I don't want to do this practice. And I believe it again. And so then if I oh no, I don't want to do it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's like shouting back into the cave again. Oh no, I don't want to do it. And it comes back and I hear, oh no, I don't want to do it. And I just keep believing it. It's like a loop of believing I don't want to do this. When obviously I do. I wouldn't have been listening to Inner Ramana every morning and writing down these messages. And someone else who's maybe reading this book and other spiritual materials, we wouldn't be reading these materials. We wouldn't be putting any time into it at all if we didn't want to do it. So the resistance is kind of a lie that we shouted out into a cave once. It came back as an echo, and then we believed it again. And we continually shout it, and we continually hear it, and we continually believe it, and we continue to resist that which we truly want. That's what our heart is calling us to. So, again, I'm going to start at the top and read a little more. Understand that all resistance comes from your willingness to listen to resistance before. It is an echo from the past that is being picked up and heard now. To listen to it again is like shouting into a cave. The echo will only return. One may stand at the mouth of the cave and shout at his own echo forever, and the echo will not die. It will only return more frequently. And if his shouts get louder, oh no, I don't want to do this, I hate this, right? If his shouts get louder, the echo will grow louder too. Now here's our answer if we want to get out of resistance. Are you ready? The way to end the feeling of resistance is to stop shouting into the cave. All right? Because if we keep shouting, the echo keeps coming back and we keep believing it again. Okay, here we go. Here's Inner Ramana giving us some very loving, very gentle, very comforting advice for dealing with resistance. Be gentle with yourself. When you are feeling resistance, quietly and gently practice the mantra or surrender anyway. This practice will not hurt you, and because you are passing on the temptation to shout into the cave, The echoes are beginning to die, and practice will come more easily in the future. So, the answer is this. Even if I feel resistance to these practices, because my heart is calling me to let go of the ego, the thinking mind, and awaken to the true self, go ahead and do it anyway. Even if I don't want to come and sit in this chair right here in the morning and do my contemplation, go ahead and do it anyway. Because if I do it anyway, I'm not shouting into the cave. When I believe I don't want to do it, and so I don't do it, I am shouting in the cave, and I'm going to keep hearing that resistant echo. But if I ignore that echo, realize it's only an echo, it's just the past, the truth is I do want to do this now, and I sit in my chair and do my contemplation. When I'm up out of the chair, I'm practicing surrender and mantra, later self-inquiry. Then what happens is those echoes begin to die, and I become much more aware of the magnet, the heart, that is calling me to do this, and I'm able to spend much more time focusing on the self. Now, as I mentioned, when I was listening to the messages of Inner Ramana back in 2009, I was experiencing a very strong, very uncomfortable resistance. That's not how I experience resistance now, but I do experience resistance. It's just I experience it differently. I experience now more as as just ideas of how to delay. Time wasters, for example. Little things, I could do this first, I could do this first, and before I know it, my morning time is eaten up, and now I have to get busy with other activities that I'm required to take care of during the day. Like it's time to teach or something like that. I'll tell you what, it's really nice to become aware of how we resist, because that resistance isn't always a strong uncomfortableness that we might recognize. Being too busy can be resistance. Wasting time is resistance. Sometimes too much spiritual reading is resistance. Too much thinking about the problems in our life is resistance. There are a couple places you can go and read just a little bit, not too much, but read just a little bit on what resistance looks like, so that maybe you can begin to recognize some of your own resistance. Some of you who read the teachings of Inner Ramana might also have this book, because this is a book that also came to me, through me. It's The Holy Spirit's Interpretation of the New Testament, A Course in Understanding and Acceptance. And in this book, on page 149, in T.I. Luke, chapter 11, at the very bottom of the page, it says, "Your resistance will distract you away from me." And then there's a paragraph of types of resistance that we might experience. It says that our resistance will give us thoughts that seem to need to be thought, for example, problems that need to be solved. Let's see, it will give you things that need to be done if you are to be seen worthy as by the outside world. So I need to get this done and this done and this done. I need to put on my makeup and fix my hair, which I didn't do. Before I go make a video, I need to spend a whole hour getting ready. I need to do all of this. I apologize, I didn't do that. Confusion will often come, and this is why sometimes that we have clarity, it's good to write it down. There'll be questions that we keep seeking the answers to, and we think we need these answers. I'm not going to continue reading, because you can look at that yourself. Another place where you can go to find out about some resistance, this book, The Most Direct and Rapid Means to Eternal Bliss, chapter 2, it's called The Imposter's Tricks. He talks in here about some types of resistance we might experience. So get to know how you resist, how you put off your contemplation, how you are distracted from doing the mantra, or distracted from surrender, how you stay in ego. Find out how you resist, and then recognize resistance when it comes up in you, and choose to do the practice anyway. That's how you stop shouting in the cave. All right, and now I need to go. Bye.